Hey man, good morning. Hebron Ben Bilal coming back at you. Another edition of this Boomer's Logic. Now I know the lighting is horrible, but it's early in the morning, man. I'm out and about, getting ready to start my 1-2 thing, getting ready to fuel up and start my daily hustle. But I want to tell y'all a story, man, about what happened with me yesterday. Great story for all you modern, strong black women. But before I jump into this, man, if you haven't already, go to the channel, Boomer's Logic by Hebron Ben Bilal. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Thumbs up, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know what to do. I tell you this every video. So, without further ado, let's get into what happened to me last night. So, about 9:30, 10 o'clock, I'm down in my office sleep. My wife is up in the living room watching she's binge watching some show. So generally when she's binge watching something, she's in the master bedroom. But this particular evening, for some reason, she decided to stay up in the living room. Like I say, I'm down there in my office, lounging on the couch, and I'm knocked out. So I hear my wife scream my name, Hebron. And when she does that, I know something's wrong. She doesn't just scream my name for no reason, unless I'm giving her a reason to. But anyway, I jump up out my sleep, jerk up out my sleep, boom. I'm on my feet. I'm straight in the living room. What's up? She said, somebody's in the front yard. So I'm like, what? So she said, yeah, they walked right, like they cut up in our grass and walked right. She said it was two people, walked right by our front door and our windows, and they're out there. So I immediately jump in my shoes, grab my shoes, throw my shoes home, and shoot out the door. And sure enough, it's this young lady. I think she's probably about 30, young black lady from up the street. And she's standing out on, like, right on the side of our house, talking to the people next door to us. So I look at her and she turns around and she looks at me and she said, oh, I'm sorry for having to wake you up. So I'm like, what's going on? Because she's panicking. And she said that it's an old man with dementia has fallen into it. It's like a really steep hill that's behind our houses. Has fallen, like it's almost like a ravine, but it's really steep hill. It goes straight down. And if you fall down this thing, you're going to get hurt. And in this particular instance, the man is like 90 years old. He's very, very old and he's frail. I don't know where he came from, what neighborhood he came from, but they said that the story was that some lady followed him and was, asking him where he was going, what was his name, and he was not responding. So she followed him because he's walking on this walker in the middle of the night, in the middle of the street. So she follows him. And somehow he gets behind this house. It's a house for sale, like 3 doors down from us. And he falls into the ravine. So I hear somebody screaming. It's a woman screaming. I mean, man, listen, if you would have been on my block last night on my street, this woman screaming sounded like somebody was killing her. Like she was terrified, like she was in horror. So I said, okay, hold on for a second. So I run back in the house because I got to get my big flashlight because it's dark in the back of these houses. You don't have any light unless you have floodlights, right? So I run and get my flashlight. My wife asked me what's going on. I don't explain to her initially. She's like, look, you ain't going outside until you tell me what's going on. So I tell her, hey, listen, this is what's happening. And she was like, oh my God. So I shoot out. And the girl is explaining the scenario I just explained to you as we're walking down the street. Now, when I come out the door again, it's like 3 women running down the street towards the screams. 3 women and a young man. He lives next door. He's probably about 13 years old. He's not going to be able to do much. I'm the only man. And I'm going to get to that in a second. So I'm the only man. All you do is see all these women running down the street. First and foremost, I'm not about to run because I don't know what in the hell I'm running to. But I hear this woman screaming. So the young lady is walking with me. Like I say, she's explaining as we're going. When I look up, when I get there and get to the backyard, you can see the scene. So you got the backyard is piled up with these women trying to pull this old 90-year-old, 90-pound man out of the brush. Now, if this brush breaks, he's falling into that ravine and he's gonna die because he's old and crippled up and wilted up. And you can clearly see like something's wrong with him, like he's off. He's very, very old. So I make my way towards, I hand the flashlight to the little dude and told him flash the, point the beam over there. So I walk up on the scene. You got these two women trying to pull a 90-pound man out of brush, and they can't do it. So I step up. I can't get to him because they're all like on top of each other trying to pull this man out, and you're not doing anything. If anything, you're making it worse, because if you jerk him loose, y'all clearly can't hold him. He's gonna fall. So I tell them, back up. So they don't respond. I said, ladies, back up. So they look back at me and they keep tugging at him. So I have to be more assertive and aggressive because I can't get to him. Ladies, back up. So one of the young black girls looked back at me and she backs away. Now I still can't fully get at him because you got this older black lady who is not listening to what I'm telling her, still tugging away at him. She's the one who keeps screaming, help, help, help. So I said, okay, I got to be a little more assertive with this woman because she's not listening. And it's imperative that I get this old man out this brush because he's going to fall. So I said it with a little more assertiveness and directed straight to her. Excuse me, ma'am, back up. So she finally lets him loose and backs up. I go and scoop the old man from underneath his arms and lift him up. So now I got him lifted up out the brush and I'm bringing him to me, but something is obstructing him from getting out. And I really can't see because it's still dark and the dude is kind of moving around with the flashlight. So one of the young ladies directs me to his arm and say, hey, he's tangled up. And I could see now why they couldn't get him out. Because they're trying to pull him and his arm is stuck on this thing and they can't get it loose because the thing is wrapped on him so tight. So I hold the old man up with one arm and unloosen his other arm with this thing because it's really on there really tight. So once I got him loose, I just lift him up, carry him, and tell them to fish his walker out of the brush because this is the only thing that's saving this man from falling into this ravine and dying. So they fish it out. I carry the old man to the front because I can hear the ambulance and police coming. So I carry him out and I keep telling him, I got you, OG, I got you. Just relax. And his body is limp. He's been struggling. So his body is limp. He has no life. He has no energy. So I carry him out to the front street. I tell the ladies, put the walker down. I put the old man on his walker, have him sit on his walker. And I hold him up until the ambulance, paramedics and all that get there. So when they finally get there and get out and they're asking me, hey, what happened? And I said, I really don't know. And I direct him to the lady who I guess was following her. So once they get him and grab him, I'll just go ahead and shoot to the crib. Explain everything to my wife. Now, first off, if the lady hadn't followed him and he had fallen in that brush, he would have never been able to get out. He'd have died back there. So kudos to the lady for following him. But my message to you women is if you paid attention to this story, there's no men live on my block. None, not a one. Exception of one. He lives down on the corner and he wasn't available for this whole situation because something's going on with his son. And he's in Atlanta at the hospital with him and his wife. But there's no men on this block, right? Now, I don't know if these women on this block share this modern, I don't need a man psychology or ideology or philosophy or opinion that these women promote today. I don't know, but I do know there's no men in any of these houses on this street. None. So I'm the only man that they came and got because I'm the only one on the block. So when all the women on the street could not get this man out of the brush, what's the first thing they did? ran and got a man. Not only did they go get a man, they went and got one of them sorry black men that y'all don't need so much. That's the first person you ran and got. Because all of you women couldn't pull a 90-pound man out the brush. Now, once again, I'm not utilizing this to bash these women, but I'm utilizing this as an example for you modern women who promote this BS nonsense about you don't need men. Every time something happens, the first thing you do is go get a man. Your car breaks down, you go get a man. You need to change the tire, you go get a man. It's something too heavy, you go get a man. But you don't need men. You promote this message of not needing men. And I'm gonna wrap it up with the lady across the street. Now, I do know she's a good lady. I won't mention her name. But when my wife watched the video, she's like, yeah, she does. She has the modern day mindset. She's older. She's about my age. And she has that modern day mindset. This modern woman, I don't need a man. How do I know? Because when we first moved in, her granddaughter was younger, right? And I'm going to tell you how foolish this mindset is. So one day I'm outside, her granddaughter's cutting the grass. She got her granddaughter. The granddaughter was young at the time, probably about 11 years old. She had her out there cutting the grass. So she, I say, hey, what's up? She shouts, hey. She said, yeah, I got her out here. I'm getting her ready. She needs to be independent. I'm raising her to be independent. Yeah, she's going to be independent and strong. So I just kind of chuckle. I get in the car and leave. And my wife was like taken aback, like, no, you need to be, and this one wife said, when she got in the car, she said, no, you need to be raising her to be submissive, to know how to cook and clean and look for a man, not be like you. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't have a man now, because you want to have this strong, independent mindset, right? So here's the catch with this. This strong, independent black woman, one day I'm coming out to check the mail, and she's over there trying to start her lawnmower to cut her grass. She can't start it. Guess who the first person she calls? This man that she don't need. I can't start my lawnmower. Can you please come and help me? I go over there and jerk it twice. Vroom, vroom. She's like, I just couldn't. I said, don't worry about it. Another example. One day, I think I was out walking my dog, and I was coming back in, and she screamed for me. So I said, what's up? She said, hey, can you come over real quick? So I put the dog in the house. I came back out. So she's explaining to me that she got hot water coming from underneath the tiles in her bathroom, and could I come and look at it? So I went in and looked at it. I said, yeah, you got an issue with the pipe, something going on. So once again, she didn't take up the sledgehammer and fix it. What she did was call me, and then went and called a man to come and fix it. So you women with this modern mindset that you don't need men, you can't survive in this society. You can't survive in this world without a man. So go ahead and push that woman king narrative you want to. All that foolishness. Just like last night, all those women could not pull that frail man out of that bush. And it took me, one black man, to come and back the black woman up. Make them get out of the way, because you're all in the way, to lift this, powerless old man out of the brush. Y'all need to sit down with this mindset, man, because without men, you couldn't make it. Without men, this world would crumble. So you need to stop that narrative and stop putting that out there in the ether, man. But man, I'm getting ready to get out here, man, and get my 1-2 thing on, man. I love y'all. See y'all on the next one.